everybody. Happy Black Friday to you. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a lovely one. And for those of you who don't, I hope you had a lovely Thursday. So Survivor Series is done and dusted, but we have one final Talking Smack to look at before SmackDown tonight. Now, what might Talking Smack have been foreshadowing for this post-Survivor Series landscape? And what does Shinsuke do with the saddest of bad builds? I'm Casualeann. Come with me. So the November 20th edition of Talking Smack was the one just before Survivor Series. Redmond expressed her excitement. She let us know that Survivor Series is her first WWE event since 2017 in person. Matt Camp tells us it's One Sleep Till Brooklyn, kind of a nice blend of the children's story and the Beastie Boys' No Sleep Till Brooklyn. They hop right in, briefly mentioning the Fatal 4-Way match for the final slot on Team SmackDown between Ricochet, Cesaro, Sheamus, and Jinder Mahal. They also go into the match between Sasha Banks and Shotzi. Sasha defeats Shotzi. She shook her hand, then gave her the backstabber. Kayla has the boss and captain of the Women's Survivor Series team backstage. She wants to know what happened between Sasha and Shotzi. And Sasha says she did as Sonya asked, and she shook her hand. She played by the rules. But she's the biggest bee in WWE, the blueprint. She'll lead the team like a boss. Other names and catchphrases. Kayla asks about her being in the ring again with Bianca Belair. Sasha lists off all of Team Raw. She notes her WrestleMania history with the EST, Bianca Belair. She talks about Rhea Ripley, Queen Zelina, Carmella, and Liv Morgan. This is the Team SmackDown is a superior one. Meanwhile, in WWE headquarters, Camp gives Team SmackDown the advantage, with there being just too much that's happening on the women's side in Team Raw. Redmond asks Camp if Sonya selected Toni Storm for SmackDown because of her previous week's energy, the fire that she had. Camp echoes the shrewdness of this decision, adding Toni to the team, and how now careers have been launched from Survivor Series. I guess that's historically. We haven't seen it much recently though. After the ads, we have discussion of the Bloodline and the atrocity involving King Woods' regalia. Roman not only takes it, but unravels its importance, stating he doesn't need it. He just took it because he can. Sick puppy right there. So Woods issues a challenge for the tribal chief to come alone to a confrontation. Roman proceeds to have Jey Uso wipe his nose on the cape. The Usos break his scepter, break his throne. And then Roman is about to step on Woods' crown when the King of the Ring has had enough. He jumps into the ring and Roman smashes his crown right in front of him. Now I have to admit, while they're inflicting this kind of psychological torture on Woods, I had to admire his conviction, his performance, because while he's hoping that he'll ascend to a higher level, many of us hope it too. He has to show that he's more than just his costume. The kings are kings without it. Yet at the same time, he needs to show that he still cares. This is his childhood dream. And that's what that one tear going down his cheek was for. Absolutely amazing. But how cheap was that crown when it could be stomped on and literally torn apart? I'm not saying, I'm just saying. It looks like the Queen of the Ring crown is actually a little more sturdy than the King of the Ring. But it turns out the King X did have a plan for the confrontation, a big one. Because the WWE champion Big E disposed of the Usos, then came for the head of the table, and together Big E and Woods laid a mighty beatdown on Roman Reigns. Now Camp calls Xavier Woods the smartest superstar in the WWE, and Redmond thinks the Bloodline may have gotten a taste of their own medicine with this numbers game. They move to the one-on-one bout between Intercontinental Champions Shinsuke Nakamura versus Angel. Umberto attempts to interfere before the menstrual boogs neutralizes him, clearing the path for Nakamura to win. Megan Morant is with Nakamura and Boogs. She calls the victory a huge win, and Shinsuke kind of crunches up his face and says to himself, huge, and then laughs. Perfect reaction. I was thinking the same exact thing, like, Los Lotharios is on a hot streak, sure, but I'm sorry. There's no way right now that Shinsuke Nakamura winning over Angel should be treated as some kind of upset. Nakamura is the Intercontinental Champion. Nakamura is the one with the reputation. Morant asks, was tonight's victory an indication that they've gotten them back? And before she can finish her question, Rick Boogs hops in. He talks about being a little feisty tonight. And Los Lotharios being slime balls. And because they're slime balls, Humberto literally started slipping out of his grasp. That's how greasy he is. Nakamura tags in. He says that they're in the past for him. He's excited to fight Damian Priest on match day. Now, as Morant is signing off, I think Boogs whispers like goosebumps. And I'll admit, at first, I thought he said goose steps. And it scared the bejeebies out of me. Because I was like, ooh, not necessarily the best look for someone named Bugenhagen. But luckily, that's not what he said. But post-commercial break, we get a promo package for Xia Li. It was fantastic. Kind of comic book art style. It was an excellent segue that was made by Camp and Redmond also, because they're hyping up the Protector and talking about how people do not need to mess with her. I can't wait to see her. I don't know when she's coming. They go deeper into the spot number 5, Fatal 4-Way. Man, I was hoping that Cesaro was gonna win this one. I really was. But Ridge Holland, of course, allows Sheamus to win the honor of being rolled up by Austin Theory in Survivor Series. Morant has a few questions for Sheamus and Ridge Holland. She implies that maybe Ridge Holland gave him a little bit of help. And Sheamus says that Holland was just there to witness greatness. Sheamus thinks he shouldn't have even had to qualify to be on the team. And what's more, he should have been team captain. Now, he doesn't mention Drew McIntyre by name, but of course the implication is there. He calls Ridge his best mate and that nothing's impossible. Now, I'm wondering if their tag team name will have anything to do with that phrase. We'll just see. Camp favors Team SmackDown to win, and the pair introduces the rest of the Survivor Series card. My rating is 4 out of 5. Sasha was great, charismatic as usual, but the segment was a little bit bland in the context of what everyone else had going. It kind of felt like a rehashing of catchphrases and names, and I prefer to see what's new in material, and that if there's going to be a callback, there's a specific purpose to it. She still did a really good job though. Sheamus and Ridge Holland had the building camaraderie element going. Sheamus is a great heel with a point, especially the qualifying aspect. I can't wait to see who Sheamus and Holland tangle with in this kind of post-Survivor Series landscape. And Shinsuke and Boogs continue to light up any stage that they're given. And with that said, my must-watch interview is Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Nakamura does a great job with relatively few words of casting Los Lotharios aside, putting them in what I would argue should have been their rightful place relative to Nakamura. He's the noteworthy single star. He should be way higher on the card than he is, and with a gesture and a sentence, he reminded us of that. Boogs is always full of energy, enthusiastic, and continues to straddle that fine line between Nakamura's sidekick and a rising star. So what do you all think? Are there any opinions you have about Survivor Series 2021? What feuds are you looking forward to now that the final Big Four pay-per-view is in the books? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tap that bell icon to make sure you get notifications for when new videos come out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.